And how's everyone doing today? I hope you guys had a good weekend. I'm so sorry about Friday. Just, I woke up late. At least one member canceled. It was just a mess. But as we stand right now, if I can remember to unmute everything properly, yes. Let's do that. How about that? Um as it stands right now, Shade and I, although Shade isn't available right now, or if she is, she'll join in later. Um, Shade and I bandied around the idea of setting up a campaign where it's just one hero, maybe with somebody following them around. And Shade wasn't available to help me put her put the world together, unfortunately, or at least if she is available, she hasn't joined chat VC yet. Um, it is open and available for her if she wishes to. Um, but the whole goal of this stream is going to be to start world building a world for that potential campaign, and yeah, it's going to be interesting because, well, the last time I did this, it was with people. So I have no idea how well this will go on. Um, I have ideas and all that. Ugh, family. All right, so let's get started in figuring out what we're gonna call everything, what we're gonna do. I will do a little bit of book reading, so to speak. Also, I have turned down how often the ads should be. Whether they actually do or not is up to Twitch. Of course, now family is going to start messaging me when my phone is nowhere near me. Just Facebook being Facebook, as usual. All right, let's do this. Let me make things visible for you guys, I suppose. All right, so it's the one. Okay, so many different. There we go. This is the one. All right. So this is our world sheet. Um, this is where we're gonna write down all the info for for our world. You know, like the world name, level of magic and technology, any historical events we come up with, all that sort of stuff. You know, over here, if it'll cooperate with me. And now you're not going to cooperate with me, are you, Penny? You just don't cooperate at all, do you? Really? 5 minutes ago you wouldn't get off the screen. Now you won't get on the screen. Make up your mind. Really? We're doing this now? Well, apparently Paint Studio just doesn't want to boot. Well, it doesn't want to show up on screen. Let me try rebooting it. Maybe it just doesn't like being minimized. You just don't want to work at all. There you go. All right, and we have the Paint Studio, of course. If we get around to making the character sheet today, we'll be building it in Ultimator using the character design. Ignore this one. We'll be creating a new one. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Now there's things going on. We'll figure that out as it gets to it. But basically we've got a lot of things to work out. This should be fun. This should be interesting. Hopefully the few people that show up aren't too bored. And I again apologize. I am just a Discord reactive image because, well, I'm not using a camera where I am currently. Also, the music is weirdly whimsical. This is what I get when I choose the D&D option on Pretzel. This is weird. All right. So, it feels weird not to just call it Earth because you know what we are going to call this world? Rosegard, until I get a opinion on that name from Shade. So we have a potential name for our world. I'm just gonna ignore that one up there. No, Rosegard feels like a country name, not a world name. Welcome to the world of. I am trying not to look at things around me and get inspiration because it is literally bills sitting open on the table in front of me. Raccoonia. Go with Raccoonia. Don't ask what I just looked at to get that. You don't want to know. Let's see. If we take a look, if I pull up the core rule book for my viewing, unfortunately I don't have it set to pull up for you guys. There are a few pillars that are kind of hallmarks of Fabula Ultima's worlds. And there are 8 of them. can't show you a literal 8, unfortunately. Um, those 8 pillars are ancient ruins and harsh lands, a world in peril, clashing communities, everything has a soul, magic and technology, heroes of many shapes and sizes, and it's all about the heroes. Oh, and mystery, discovery, and growth. So, like, for the world, we're talking ancient cities and villages are separated by huge plains, all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, this is a world of small kingdoms in lands teeming with monsters. No, so we might know if we're gonna figure out we'll call it 5 major countries or kingdoms. Yeah, that sound about right. We'll work on that though. We'll work on that after we shape the world. What shape is our world? Is it a round world? Is it a flat map? Honestly, flat map would be the easiest for us. Are there any floating continents? I don't know. You know what? Let's just go ahead and pull up our paint if it's going to cooperate with us this time. Are you going to? You're going to be a pain in my butt, of course. Of course. Oh, there we go. There we go. It decided it was ready to work. There we go. And we'll just grab. What are we thinking? Are we thinking? I think it needs to be a little taller. The map does. We'll go with 500. Let's see how it feels. That feels a lot better. Maybe just 800 instead of 856. It's not 800 by 600, but it does still feel good on the screen. All right. And yes, we are now using my tablet. So we are now officially in oh god, what have we done mode. See? All right. What are we going to do for the shape of the world? What do you think, Zermara? Do we have one big continent, 2 big continents? How do we want to shape the world? Oh, I do not like that line. Let me just undo that. That was way too. That that'll work. Hmm. You know what? Let's work off of 2D shapes. How about that? Why is that so thick? Let's just stick with brushes. All right. Let's go with at of course that's gonna do that too. That is Auld Lang Syne, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee you that's Auld Lang Syne playing right now. Yeah, I did not expect that, and it's probably gonna copyright strike this when it goes to YouTube. Ah, great. Nope, that last one was not what I wanted to do. Do we need one more? what? We'll change the color here for this one. Ah, that was awful. And we'll use a different color of green for that. There we go. Because that represents an island in the sky. Wow. Paint 3D does a really crappy job of lining. I'm not happy with that in the slightest, but we'll go with it for now. All right. Now we'll grab our crayon. Literally, that's what the brush is called, is crayon. And I apologize if anyone has a little issue with this. I didn't. What? It's been a while since I used this, and I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. I'm winging it. So we're gonna call it that. Actually was horrible. Just undo those and pick something other than crayon. How about that? Marker. We have a city right here. I just threw a red turd. Maybe since we're past the need to draw phase, I'll just use the city right here. I'm doing capitals of kingdoms in red. We'll use purple for for villages. This is big enough. It should have multiple kingdoms at the very least. These are known kingdoms. Not, these are known kingdoms. These are, when people ask about the gossip for the world, these are the kingdoms that get mentioned. Although usually in smaller cities, you're only going to, in like villages, you're only going to hear about the capital of your kingdom. In the kingdoms, when you're talking, when they're getting information from traders about the different countries, these are the big world countries they're talking about. One that decided to be in the middle of that. You know what? This is called an oil brush one. I do not know how well this one will look. We'll find out. That's honestly kind of ugly, but it works. No, I don't like that. There's a desert in the reach in the it's not the best place for a desert actually. Let me There's a desert region right there. And back down to the 5 thickness we were using to show locations. We have one country operating out of the northern wastes. No, excuse me. No, we use brown normal towns. Hmm. And at the moment, I'm just kind of placing these randomly. In all reality, there's probably a lot more, but the nature of RPGs is most of the time we don't know all of them. We're only seeing a small representation of them in most RPGs. All right, so we've currently got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 capitals. So I can hear family arguing in the other room. It's kind of irritating me. You know what? It's you know what? We're gonna say that much of this lower continent is just dense jungle. How about that? Still got some villages in it, but they're less than there are they're kind of few and far between. Think of those like enclaves, rather than normal villages. And mountain range. With little gaps and passes all through it, kind of forming a natural barrier across a good portion of that continent. Same thing over here. Hey, we'll make it just one village over here. Yeah, we don't know that as far as we know. As I think the way it's going to be is this floating island. As far as anyone currently alive that is publicly known, no one knows what's on the floating island. It's kind of this mysterious, unknown place. Also, we are currently experiencing an ad break, unfortunately. Hmm. Shit posty as it feels, this feels appropriate. Why is that so big? This will be the nation of Zebia. It feels right to use papyrus here because this is supposed to be a map. We'll call this one Waldron. That was a little too. No, still not the right spot. Okay, close enough. All right. Now, please, please tell me how stupid I am about any of this, please. Um, third one here. And you'll notice I put most of these capitals on the coast. That's because historically, even, in the real world and otherwise, you need water for a country to succeed. And the capital of the country needs water. Should have a water supply independent, of anything else. I know I don't have any lakes on here. I'll ask Shade where she thinks the lake should be if she shows up. But we'll call this one Dolmark. This is Azis. Oh, that is horribly on the wrong spot. This will be hmm. Da. Oh, what to call this one? I don't know what to call this one. Somebody give me a hint. Give me an idea. Hmm. Carolingan. Give it a that gives it a thinking about that. Um it won't let me edit old ones. Or will it? Nope. What are we gonna call the one on the other side of the desert? June Morrow. This will be Tor Avas. No. Yeah. It'll be Tor Avas. No, that the Tor feels right. No, the Tor. Now I think about it more, the Tor feels wrong. Laguna. No, no, I need to stop trying to be fancy. Hmm. This one, it needs to feel more tropical sounding. And it only needs to feel that way because it's primarily in a jungle region. Forget north, forget extreme north and south being cold, hot. Don't don't think about that. Kythal. Kind of like it. And this is the last one. We'll call it I really hmm, my brain is just like crickets. What do I call this one? I don't even know what's going on with this music. Give me a sec. The trees, they do grow high. That that's not what I thought of when I heard that. Um uh hmm I apologize if you guys can hear me yawning. I woke up like an hour before stream. Runali. And we're not going to name little villages. I'm sorry for anyone who's unhappy about that. Just assume that they're like small villages throughout these countries. If you're from that nation, you know the names of the countries, but if you're not, if you're from that nation, you know the names of the villages near you. But more often than not, as a peasant, the only names you're going to know is the name of your home village or town, the neighboring one, and the capital. It's going to be the learned, the scholars of the big city, of the big capitals. They're going to know more than just a name or two. That's we're not looking at a world that has modern education and access to modern technology. Let me just save this real quick. what did we name the world? Raccoonia. All right, so I'm gonna have to reference this again to fill in certain things, but we can go back to Edgar now. Not Edgar. We can go back to this and fill in the names of the kingdoms. I don't know whether we'll do them alphabetically, but we'll start with Azus. Just for reference, all of these are on the same Windows, so I am legitimately having to flip back and forth. So give me a minute. Carolingen. One moment. Then Dolmark and Dunmarrow. Then we are looking at Kythal. I should probably be Bernali. I should probably be categorizing these by continent, but all right, Waldron and Zevia are the last two. All right, those are our known major countries and kingdoms. Until Shade or Sarah, however you want to call her, gives me a okay on where we want to start from. Let me actually check and see if she said any messaged me. Till we have a till we have an idea of what these nations are, until we have an idea where she wants to start from, what nation, we're going to leave those blank for the moment. We will be continuing this world building another day. We're just trying we're trying to hash out the rough stuff right now, and I do know that we will be just this is my opinion of it. We will be starting from a village. So knowing that my character is going to be like a town guard or something, like the local garrison captain, something like that. just to give me the ability to kind of be a teacher, mentor to the main character. You know, also gives my character a reason to leave and not be around long term. Um, I think it's going to be a case of what do we do? Do we make magic the dominant, tech the dominant? What level of mix is there? And do we want airships to be common? Because if airships are common, then the geography doesn't matter. If you know what I mean. Because if airships are common, then getting to different cities outside of just being a rural bumpkin is a non-issue. You know? Especially between peaceful countries, or areas they're not at hostile with each other. They're just like, okay, who gives a shit? I'm thinking any airships are experimental or or ancient relics. Two types of airships: ancient relics and modern barely functioning prototypes. So average tech, low, some countries more advanced. We'll call magic uncommon. It's not that people, it's not that it isn't everywhere, it's that not everybody can use it. Or rather, it's not that everybody can't use it, it's that it's something that has to be taught. And most people are too poor to be able to learn it, to be able to pay to learn it, or afford the materials necessary to learn it. Like, okay, so the tech level is generally like slightly above medieval, kind of like in between It's your typical high fantasy tech level. Now, overall, it seems pretty medieval, but you have one or two spots that are a little weirdly advanced. And then there's just that one country that's just like mid steampunk era for some fucking reason, and it turns out like they end up being the bad guy. That sort of vibe. I don't know how else to explain that, you know? And honestly, with where it lives, Dolmark is probably the one because they're up there on the other side of a mountain, probably dealing with poor weather most of the time. So they probably do. It's probably Dolmark, but I'm not going to hard say either way. Hmm. All right. What historical events? And what do they mean by historical events? Let me look that up. What major historical events shaped the countries into the way they are now? What are they? Um, hmm. Major historical events. Well, I mean, if I look at the map, if I look at the map here, I'm thinking Azus and Carolingian got into a war. What do you say, 50, 60 years ago? And that's why there's so few villages left. That's why there's so few villages and towns left in that region because a lot of them were, "Hey Steve, how you doing? Just doing some world building on my very poorly drawn custom map." We're gonna call it 60 to 80 years ago. Uh, I need another historical event, not something non-war based. We'll call it 200 years ago. I don't know why I used it. 200 years ago, a meteor impact sunk an island. What do we think? Does that sound like a interesting, uh, interesting historical event? And we can even add where that island is with our marker here. Turquoise? No, turquoise is what we used originally. But yeah, there's a sunken island down in here. We're not gonna specify where, but there's somewhere down in there. There's a sunken island. Here, let me show you where. Somewhere in this area. If I just can I? Yeah, you guys can't see it. Here, I'll just circle it real quick. Somewhere in this region, there is a sunken island. Don't know where exactly. Just know that a meteor impact caused it to sink, which means it might have been something artificial, might have been something fragile. We just know that historically there was an island there, and now there's not. Makes sense, doesn't it? All right. What other historical events can we add? Something in between the two. Um, Waldron and Zebia. We'll call it 100 years ago. Waldron and Zebia collaborate. No, ally to eliminate. What are we gonna call this country they eliminated? They burned this city and its and took over its villages. They burned the capital and took it and took over the villages. What's the name of the country that no longer exists? I need a name. Hmm. Come on, Steve. You got a name for a country for me? Or if I don't get a name, I'm gonna call it something like Egalia. That got cut. The name. It was an island. It was an island. There were what? There wasn't a country on it. It was just a village or two. But yeah, no. You 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 think Atlantis? Hmm. Because I mean, we're talking we're talking these two work together to eliminate another a third country on their continent. So something over here where there's less villages, probably. Hmm. Hmm. Around the world, around the world. Oh God, I gotta stop listening to Daft Punk to fall asleep. Hmm. Yeah, I think I mean it's been 100 years. There's probably mm, mm, I'm gonna call it Atlantia. No, that feels like a cop out. Atlant. Atlant. Mm. Um. Hmm. Huh. I'll get Shade to add one or two to this. Enigmas and mysteries. Um. That's a big one right there. I forgot to add about airships. Airships exist, but only as ancient relics and unstable prototypes. What is on the floating continent? What else? What else? Enigmas and mysteries. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each capital has a the capital is not the word. Each country has a massive crystal in the capital. What are these crystals for? All we know is every country that tries to form without one of these fails. Villages do fine. They don't really, they're not very big. They don't have, but big gatherings of people, they need these crystals to survive, to survive. The small villages don't, towns don't. It's just when they reach a certain point, if they don't have one of these massive crystals as part in the city, they don't last for a variety of reasons, but no one specific reason. What is it about these crystals that let them survive or last? Um, I need another enigma or mystery. we'll go with just those three for now. We'll get Shade to add one or two more threats. Well, I mean, war, of course. Um, war, um, uh, uh, hostile monsters. These are kind of these are kind of the small level threats, but then there's rumors that somewhere there is a giant dragon. Some sort of world ending dragon that, people say when the dragon awakens, countries will die. um we'll just say there something sealed on the floating continent. Gives us a few ideas for for plot threads. For all we know, for all we know, the world tree that supports the freaking world might be up there. We don't know it's up there. So I think for now the world sheet is done. Let me just that is not what I meant to do. Did I just lose everything? Oh, thank God I did. God, I'm trying to remember how to save this. All right. Yeah, apparently I already saved it. All right. So until we have actual party members, there's not much I can do here. So the group sheet's not a worry. So now we get to the part that I've been a little enthusiastic thinking about, but I haven't gotten to do much of. Let's just close, hide both of those, and pull up Fabula Fultimator. Um, So this is where we build a character. We're going to build my character for it. What do we call my character? Gene. Just Gene. That's that's all the is a he, him. Uh, because he will be the captain of the guard. Sorry. He is the captain of the garrison. He's going to be level 7 instead of 5. So I know that might seem a little weird for me to do that, but there's a reason. He's experienced. And he's not going to stay with with Shade's character long term. He's going to stay with him for a while, stay with her for whatever she decides to make her character for a while, and then he'll either die, get injured, or be forced to return to his post. Something like that. Look at me not able to spell. His theme is duty. His origin. Origin we leave undone because we don't know what country that they're that their village is a part of yet. Okay. Let me core rule book here. Where is the part about quirks? I don't think do we want to use a quirk? No, this isn't like My Hero Academia quirk. It's not like that. All right. We're kind of going high fantasy primarily, so let me look at the high fantasy quirks to start with. So we're a guard. We're a guard. We're pretty normal overall. We have no glorious fate. There's no heirlooms or anything like that. So I actually think um a natural fantasy quirk might be better for me. Because there's one there called Big Bro. Hmm. Oh, one moment. There we go. You know what? I don't think we're gonna have quirks just because it adds an extra level of complexity to what we want to do. So we ignore quirks. Bonds form during play. Our stats. Let me look at the standard character creation. All right, so we need to do our classes first. All right. So we're gonna start off with a core rulebook class. We're guards, so I'm thinking. I don't even know how well you can see this. What do you think? We're the guard captain of a town, so I think weapon master is appropriate. And I think we're going to take a level in breach specifically here, and a second one in weapon mastery. We've practiced for years with our weapon. You know, we're skilled with it. You know, and we've learned how to you know, break our enemy's shield or break their armor or leave them vulnerable to another attack from you know from allies. Breach. So two levels in weapon master. Um, if we're looking at the core rule book one, still one level in order, and this one's we're the captain of a guard. We're the captain of a guard garrison for for a town or village. You know, we have the ability to encourage our troops. You know, it might only be a little bit, but it's just that little bit. So that's 3 levels so far out of the 7. So we have 4 left. If we take a look in high fantasy, no, we're not gonna. I don't think techno fantasy is where we want to go, but natural fantasy. What is Invoker like? I don't know if we're gonna go with Invoker, but I want to take a look at it to see what verbally communicate. Are as a guard captain, do we feel like we can speak with nature of some and other creatures? I don't think we do. It feels like not the right thing. Maybe going back to the core rule book, 2 levels, and I can only. I I have to. I think. I have to take. All right. So we'll take. We'll take 2 levels in defensive mastery. And a level in fortress. So class level 3 here. And we'll take a 3rd level in weapon master to take a 2nd to take counterattack, I think. All right, so we're a freaking fighter. We're not a mage or anything like that. We're a guard captain who spent years training and and fighting. So I think it's only appropriate that we take. What do you think? Do we do a spear? I think it's with I think we take a spear because we're the cap. Do we make it a heavy spear though? Are we a heavy spearman? Does that really fit with what we picked for our classes? Does that really fit? No, I feel like a light spear would be better. Maybe with a light shield on the other arm. Yeah, I think light spear. Think of it as the image of the soldier standing up straight with his spears. Planted in the ground next to him. we are a soldier, so I think we'd have bronze plate. Select quality. No, wouldn't have any special qualities. We could take the runic shield because we're able to take martial. That'll give us a little magic defense too. Do we? Any accessories we take are literally custom items, so we don't have one of those. I don't think. But we're let's see. Our If we look at our classes, we need order. This one lets us swap it out. Guardian specifically. Alright, so it's my equipment, dex and might. My accuracy is determined by dex and might, so my stats I'm gonna want. I am specialized, so that's appropriate. All right, and I think that is. I don't have any spells because I'm not in any class that has them. I have any notes to put. And I'll need to find a image. Is my HP at 45? It should be maxed out. All right, so we have our first party member. Let's look at our battle sheet. All right, and I need to figure out how much Zenit I would have if at the start. So give me just a moment to pull that up. Use a starting budget of 500 Zenit. We'll make that 700 since I'm starting at level 7. So looking over at our equipment, so if we're going with 700, 200, 400, 550, so I wouldn't have been able to take one of these two. I would probably have to go with the regular shield. So we're going to have 150. So 150 plus let's see how well this will work. This is something how well this will work. Let's see here. Where is it? Up, 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 up. Roll a window. Make that visible. Then I need to take my Discord, chat, and just pop that out. There we go. I do not know how well that shows up. Let me take a look. Okay. You guys can kind of see it. Okay. We need to roll 2d6 and then multiply it by 10. So let me just get back in that window. And 80, so 150 plus 80, so 230 gold saved up. We have 230 gold saved up on our from our time in the guard. Save that. And I'll just hide the roll window. And yeah, this, other than needing a picture, which I'll find one, trust me, I'll just look up generic guard captain, pick one I like. Other than needing to add my origin, I think we are pretty much ready for oh, hey, we actually can roll our attributes for combat here. That's kind of cool. So we can use this during combat. Yeah, that's kind of everything we need for the character. It took less time than I thought it was going to. Yeah, so let me just, now that we're that far, let me just look through everything again. Where is... Alright, Edgar, you pop back up. The group sheet. I need to look at what's supposed to be on this group sheet. So let me just pull that up. What's supposed to be on? All right. It doesn't tell me anything really. I've talked through a lot of this with Shade in the, in time. In the meanwhile, I think we are pretty much at the point of no return for the stream. We're pretty much right at the end here. I am glad you got the few of you that came around. Thank you for coming and hanging out. we have a captain of the garrison named Gene. He's going to be riding out with Shade's character that she will eventually be making, either on or off stream. I do not know at this point. I don't know if we'll be, if the world, if the world sheet will get updated on stream before we start the campaign, but I'd like to. I cannot guarantee another stream before Christmas. Straight up, I just can't guarantee another stream before Christmas, but I'm gonna try. In the meanwhile, as my brain completely fails me, I will cheerfully tell you guys, have a great night. Be safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, which honestly covers a fair bit, including murder. You guys just be safe. Don't get into trouble out there, and I will see you guys next time. Catch you later.